Hey everybody, how's it going? So it's been a while since I've done any stuff for the video podcast. So I thought 1 week ago today, I ran my 8th Rochester Marathon. So I thought today would be a great day. It was beautiful out too, to do a little race review. Never done a video race review. So I figured I'd give that a shot today. So yeah, a week ago today, last Sunday, September 20th, at 7:30 a.m., I ran a damn marathon. And, I wish I could tell you that it was a great race, that I was pumped, and that, it was the comeback race that I wanted. But it wasn't. My heart really wasn't in it. And for me to say that about a marathon, something that I trained for, all summer for 4 months, that's kind of a big deal. I hate to admit it, but it was kind of like an annoyance that I had to run it that day. At least that's how I went into it. But you pay your money and you put your time in, and I don't want to waste 4 months, and I certainly didn't want to waste my coach's efforts and everyone else, my friends and family. Everybody was just so supportive the entire time that I worked my way back up to the point where I could run a marathon. And I couldn't let all of them down. And I certainly didn't want to show my son that I was a quitter or anything like that either. So I ran it. So it started at 7:30. The weather was awesome. It was awesome. Awesome. I mean, I didn't have that great of a race. We'll get into that. But I certainly cannot blame it on the weather. There were, moderate clouds through most of the race. It started out like in the high 50s, and I think we finished in like the mid 60s. And I read somewhere or heard somewhere a long time ago that the ideal marathon running temperature is like 52, 53 degrees. And when we started, it wasn't too far off of that. And that was nice. That was really, really nice. I have run the Rochester Marathon in like blistering heat. The one year that they actually closed the race, I finished. But it was just too dangerous for them to keep it going, so I don't like that. I ran the Rochester Marathon before it became the Rochester Marathon on a day. I think they did it back in May. It was my first marathon, and it was like freezing. It was like in the low 50s, high 40s, and I was totally underdressed and I froze. So this was just right. The weather was ideal, very, very good. I've run the Rochester Marathon 7 times before this, so I was very familiar with the old course, but last year, our local Fleet store bought the rights to the marathon, and I think they did a great job. The expo was awesome, all the information online was awesome, the bibs were awesome, all that stuff. They did a great job. But they changed the course. It was an entirely new course. And in the spring, they also have a half marathon that they do. And the half marathon and the old marathon course were very similar. They kind of like snuck around the same parts of our city. So the store wanted to change where the marathon ran to kind of showcase the other parts of the city that the half doesn't go to. So it was in a completely different direction. And I didn't like that too much. For the marathoners, there was a section of the course that was a loop course. And I haven't really run that too many races that were loop races, but I will tell you, I think this is like my second one. I am not a fan of loop races. One of the defeating things is, you're clocking along and you see like the 8-mile mark sign, but next to it there's like a 18-mile mark sign, and you just know in your mind, oh my God, I got to come back this way. And just seeing that 18-mile marker kind of makes you feel like, oh my God, I got another 10 miles before I'm going to be back here. And running marathons is a mental game, so I didn't really like that too much. And hands down, from everybody that I talked to that ran the half and the full, the hills were terrible. The old race was a little hilly, but this new race, oh my gosh, crushed me. I definitely was undertrained when it came to the hills. But it started out really well. They bussed us to the start line, which was new. Before you could just park your car at the local, um, excuse me, I lost my train of thought. You could park it at the local frontier field, and you could walk to the start line. But this time they, because it started in a new location, they had to bus you there. That went off without a hitch. And another thing I did not really like was that there were about like 450 marathoners, and I checked online and it said there were like 2,100 half marathoners, and then there's relay teams with that too. And they started everybody at once. Now I've run New York City twice, and each time I ran it there were roughly 45,000 people running it, and it certainly wasn't that bad. I mean, they did waves of 15,000 when I ran New York City, but I just didn't like having everyone starting at once. Kind of congested a little bit, but you know, hey, that's part of racing and marathoning. The race itself, you know, I did okay up until about the 20-mile mark. I was clocking sub 9-minute paces, which my personal goal, other than to just finish, was to try to break 4 hours again. That's always kind of like been my standard for me. And I was right on pace to do that up until about mile 20. And then there was another hill, and it just broke me. It just broke me. I don't know what happened. I think I was a little dehydrated, even though it was a cooler day, even though I was hydrating right. And I don't think my legs were really used to the hills. Certainly not that. And I couldn't go anymore. I was getting leg cramps. So I kind of started doing a walk-run thing. And, you know, that worked. And I got to be honest, if I didn't have my coach and so many other people rooting for me, I probably would have walked off the course. But I kept going. And, you know, there were more hills and more challenges, but I kept up with that walk-run. And I did wind up finishing. I finished in 4:15 something, which is not my slowest marathon. It was my 4th fastest, which was kind of cool considering that I felt so crappy after mile 20. So I was kind of down on myself at the 20-mile mark when I started walking and beating myself up mentally. But then, you know, I thought I was going to be a little more crushed when I crossed that finish line and saw, you know, it said 4:15 instead of 3 something. But I felt okay. You know, I felt really good. I felt a big sense of relief. It's been a really hard climb to get back here. And, you know, at the end of the day, I was just happy that I was back able to run a full marathon again. And my back didn't give me any problems during the whole race, which was awesome. And, you know, I recovered really, really well, which is a good testament to Coach Judy's work with me. And, you know, it was good. It was good. This bling was definitely worth it. Definitely worth it. Good race. I finished it saying, hell no, I'm never running Rochester again. But of course, you know, like 6 hours later, I decided, well, I'm not going to let those stupid hills beat me. And I'm definitely got my sights set on hammering Rochester next year and being way more prepared for those damn hills. It was a good race. It was a good race. Everything is going pretty good. You know, it's been a week since the race. Feel really good. Just went out for a quick 2-miler and getting my speed back. Soreness is gone. Tightness is gone. Back feels great. And of course, I just can't sit still. I already registered for my next race. I'm going to do Pumpkins in the Park, which is one of my favorite ones because you get to dress up. It's around Halloween. Well, it's on Halloween this year. And I think I'm going to run as Elvis. I did it once before, and it was a lot of fun. So I'm going to do that again this year. And my off days work out where I have Thanksgiving off this year. And right down the road from my house, there's a turkey trot on Thanksgiving. That is one of my favorite races, too. And I think I'm going to register for that. So got some smaller races in the future. Still working with Coach Judy. She hasn't tired of me enough yet. So she's kind of agreed to coach me past the marathon, which I'm ecstatic about. Getting her as a coach has been an awesome experience. I highly recommend her. Or another, you know, you yourself getting another coach. It's been a great experience. What else? You know, still got some personal stuff going on in my life that's beating me up a little, but you know, hey, stuff happens, and as long as I keep on putting one foot in front of the other, I'll call it a win. So that's what's going on with me. I hope all of you are doing well. 12th marathon in the books, yeah. And you know, no end in sight. Going to get faster for next year. Going to get stronger for next year with those hills, and you know, we may just see that 3-something finish time next year. And you know, I'm just thankful that I can still do this. Thankful that I proved all those people wrong who said that I would never be here again. I'm here again. So I hope all of you have a great day. I hope all of you are enjoying your fall races. We love this time of year and this weather out here. It's like the perfect running weather on the planet. So have a great day. Talk to you guys later. Bye.